Jackson here at Song Mentor. Well, what can you say about a song that Pete Townshend and The Who have made their introductory song for their concerts for years and years? Probably worth a lesson. Townshend admits that I Can't Explain was inspired by the early work of the Kinks, particularly All Day and All the Night. But the song does stand out on its own, a little more polished, a little more refined, and some wonderful moments in it. Here's a song that's also remained a staple on all The Who's compilation albums and greatest hits LPs. Here's Pete Townshend, I Can't Explain. Alright, I'd like to show you the chords you need for I Can't Explain. And the first three chords that ring in the song are an E, a D, and an A. And I'm hearing a different inversion of the A, so I'm going to make this optional for you. You can play the A in two different ways, but I'm going to play it in the way I'm about to show you here. First chord you need is an E bar chord at this position. And that's with the pinky finger forming the A chord and the bar on the 5th fret. Second chord you need is a D chord. Slide that down 2 frets. And this is where you could play the bar A chord as your 3rd chord, but I'm hearing this A formation in the intro only. Okay, so what we're doing there is basically playing a D chord formation up on the 9th fret, where our first finger's across the 9th fret, and then our second finger is on the 10th fret 2nd string, and our third finger is on the 11th fret 4th string. So it becomes this. And that's the inversion I'm hearing of the A chord, this A chord rather than this one. When we get to the singing the verses, then you can switch. I'm going to switch to the bar A chord. So you need the bar E, the bar D, this inversion of an A, this bar A chord. You need a bar B chord, and I'm going to suggest this one because it gets us down to where I want to play the open E. So you need this bar B major chord right here. You need an open E. You need a C sharp minor bar chord. Once again, I already said you needed the A, but you also have to have an A sus. Switch back and forth from an A bar chord to an A sus, and the simplest way to do that is just take that pinky finger and flatten it down so that it's on the 7th fret, covers the 7th fret of the 3rd string. There's A major, there's A sus. And then finally, with this B, because we're moving in that direction, we need this B bar chord as well. We had this one earlier. We need this one, and then also the B sus with that. So just to review again, E, D, this inversion of A, this inversion of A, B major down here, an open E, C sharp minor, A with A sus, B with B sus. And those are all the chords you need for I Can't Explain. Okay, just a quick word on tone. I'm using an ES335 style guitar here, but if you notice I have the pickup switch set on the bridge position. I wanted a nice bright, clean, clear sound for these chords. There's not much to tell you about strumming because it's pretty much straight down strumming. It's the only place that it varies from that kind of tact strumming is when you get into the little I can't explain. So those are nice full strums. I can't explain. Nice clear ringing strums on the E chord, on the C sharp minor. Those little A and A sus and B susses are kind of like this. I think that's pretty much all you need to know about tone and strumming. Okay, let's work through the main chord progression for a verse, which kind of includes the intro because it's the same progression. Again, I'm only going to use this inversion of the A chord in the intro, which is 3 times through. And then I'm going to switch to this A chord. Actually, as I listen to the song, I think that in the original recording, I think Pete Townshend played this inversion all the way through. But I think it's just easier, especially if you're singing, to play this one. A lot less movement there than... It's fine to concentrate on that for the intro, but when we're singing, I think it's easier to grab that A major chord at the bar. Okay, so here, let's work through this, this progression at a slower tempo. Got a feeling inside, some kind. I feel hot and cold and down in my soul. Okay, now notice the only difference in the progression was the last line of the verse there, where instead of going to the A, we went to the B major chord. And that's just before the chorus kicks in. Okay, the second verse is a little bit different. For one thing, Roger Daltrey sings lines all the way through rather than a half a line and then the band answering with "Can't explain." So he sings it all the way through, and at the end of the verse, instead of that, which we played the first time through, which was E, D, B, and E, this time it's... Notice the timing's a bit different there. It's pushed. And those are the 3 chords, the E, the D, and the B bar chord down here, that lead us into the bridge section. I can't explain. Okay? So let's just, let's now do a playthrough of the intro, first verse, and second verse, up to speed with chords on the screen. Got a feeling inside, I can't explain. It's a certain kind, I can't explain. I feel hot and cold, can't explain. Get down in my soul, yeah, can't explain. I said, can't explain. Feeling good now, yeah, but can't explain. To the end of the head, I'm feeling blue. The things you've said, well, maybe they're true. I'm getting funny dreams again and again. I know what it means. Okay, let's just do a playthrough of that bridge section and make sure that we're recording that correctly. Nice and open ringing chords again. Okay, so when we go to put the whole song together, we want to make sure that that we have that up to speed. Okay, just before we get into a full playthrough, a couple things to tell you about. We're going to insert, and you'll hear when they are. There's a 2-bar guitar solo that plays through this twice. And actually, you know, if you listen to the original recording, there is nobody playing that. It's the, you know, the Who didn't have 2 guitars, and they didn't cheat on this. Pete Townshend played a lead solo while John Entwistle on the bass filled in the progression. But anyway, we will do a backup guitar in this, and then allow a space for a guitar solo. Just 2 bars, a little quick thing, and then there's a 4-bar one later in the song, towards the end of the song. The song ends like this. So it goes to that B quickly, but it's kind of a pushed there again at the end. All right, I think we're just about ready for that full playthrough. Before we do that, I'll give you some suggestions on how to create a raunchy, simple guitar solo for this. Well, I don't want to spend a lot of time in this lead work, and it's just working in and around this, you know, the E formation here down low. So we've got these two open. B and E strings are part of that, and then this that sort of shaken all over scale. Two things you need to know about this guitar work in this song. One is it's a 12 string, and secondly is that a lot of his inspiration for the song, as a matter of fact, came from the Kinks, Pete Townshend's inspiration. So the Dave Davies influence is there for this guitar solo, and then if you take this up to the 12th and 14th frets, that kind of stuff. It's crude, it's basic. I mean, you can try to duplicate what Townshend did, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to improv something down here based on that stuff, and then maybe a little bit up here as well, especially for the second solo where you've got 4 bars to fill in. Okay, have some fun with that.
Inside, I can't explain. It's a certain kind I can't explain. I feel hot and cold, I can't explain. Down in my soul, yeah, I can't explain. I said, I can't explain. I'm feeling good now, yeah, but I can't explain. Dizzy in the head, now I'm feeling blue. The things you said, well, maybe they're true. I'm getting funny dreams again and again. I know what it means, but I can't explain. I think it's love. I try to say it too when I feel blue, but I can't explain. I can't explain. Hear what I'm saying, girl, I can't explain. Dizzy in the head and I'm feeling bad. The things you've said got me real mad. I'm getting funny dreams again and again. I know what it means, but I can't explain. I think it's love. I'm trying to say it to you when I'm feeling blue, but I can't explain. I can't explain. Forgive me one time, now you can't explain. Explain, yeah, drive me out of my mind. I'm the worrying kind, babe. I said I can't explain.
All right, well, fine tuning today for I Can't Explain, and I did put one little vocal harmony in there just on the answer backs. I Can't Explain. But of course, if you're playing this with a band, there's some really cool harmonies in this song. I remember thinking the Who, boy, you know, because the Kinks didn't really have that. Who were a similar edge band, but and then you'd hear these blissful harmonies. So you might want to. There's some ooh harmonies and other things there. As far as the guitar goes, clean and crisp. Nice, clean, punchy chords, and then of course those nice open, ringing chords for the other part. All right, I Can't Explain. Pete Townshend and the Who. We'll see you next time, when maybe we can explain, on Song Mentor.